Hello and welcome to the Even Me podcast. This is More Speaks.
And your girl Kim.
All right. Today, we will be talking about when things are falling apart. Are they falling into place? So go ahead, Kim. Lead us on this. Where did this topic come from?
Well, this topic came from personal issues with myself or personal things happening. Basically, people leaving your life and you're like, why this person leaving? Why my family members are abandoning me? Why this dude is abandoning me? Why my friends are not there for me? Well, my understanding from it now is sometimes, like Tyler Perry said, the rocket and it has the booster on. Some people are there to help boost you up and then they fall off or whatever. And then some people are just there, and causing you how can I say it? They're not helpful. So they've been in your life and basically all you've seen is trouble, giving. You give so much. This little cartoon they had on Instagram last night I was looking at, and it has this little animated figure, and it shows him completely cleansed, right? Completely like the shade of white, right? And he goes to one friend and he touches that friend because the friend going through something, and then his hands and his arms start turning black. Then he goes to another friend. That friend leaves, right? He goes to another friend that's about to jump off a bridge, and he grabs him and hug him, and then the top half of him start turning black. And then he goes to another friend and do the same thing, giving them the support, and his whole body turns black, right? And they leave for the friend that wasn't there. So when he gets home, he's down, he's out, he's thinking that, I just gave myself to everybody. Nothing's going on with me. They're not there and they left my life. And I take that as you giving, you draining yourself, and to give to everybody. What is left for you? Who's left there for you? So some people, if we don't get rid of them, God get rid of them for us. Sometimes God let it hurt us so bad. Now He ain't gonna let it destroy you. He gonna allow it to hurt so bad that you decide to let that person go. Like hot pot or a hot cup of coffee. You hold it on to it. It's so hot. You have to let it go. You have to get it out your hand because it's burning you. So I'm understanding now, with all the people leaving my life that I thought I needed, they didn't help me get where I need to get right now. So they was really hindering my future. But I known them. They was familiar. They family, they friends. They, always been there. But where have they helped me at? And that's what in this season I had to see. It hurt. Like I'm telling you, I bawled my eyes out. Who don't want to be with their family? Who don't want to, be with this dude you're familiar with? Who don't want their friends? But God says sometimes, hey, they only there for a season. You're there to help them. Some people are there in your life to help you at a point, to either help you grow, to learn to get to the next level, or they stepping stones. They stepping stones to get you to your next life. And that's where it comes from me. I never thought that. I never seen it. And then when you look over my past, I'm like, dang, why this person was in my life, it was just, I was being drained. It was like they was a vampire. And I never got, they drained me, literally drained me. And the devil uses anger because that's his playground. When you get mad, say you get mad at an ex. Oh, I got her. Let me use this. I'm finna mess with her mind, mess with her heart, mess with her, self-esteem, mess with it. He loves that, to build walls in your life. And so I'm learning that everything I thought I needed people to do, with God's help, I did it by myself. Not one person did any of this. And I'm like, okay, God, I understand. It may sting a little bit, but somebody right around the corner that you're bringing to help push me further, to help uplift me, or I'm there to help uplift them. We filling each other cup up, because I've been filling everybody cup and not refilling mine. So yeah, that's what we have to learn. In these quiet season is not meant to punish us. It's meant to elevate us to our next level, because we can't go to the future dragging the past with us.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I already went through that season because,
Hmm.
um, like in the past, I can't remember if I ever mentioned this, but I did have a friend in the past that, hey, what the heck happened? Um, my bad. I'm in the dark. But yeah, so I did have a friend in the past that we had. I mean, we would go out, we would go do things, and but I didn't know, he was a pothead for one, you
Hmm.
know. Um, so I knew him from work. He used to work with us, but there was times that he would just reach out and be like, and I thought he was just trying to be cool. We were cool at work. We worked in the same department, so we were cool. But he would reach out and be like, "Hey, Anthony, let's go hang out," you know. And so we went to a couple of house parties, which was cool. And then we went to some like bars and stuff like that, or went to go see UFC fights at like a wing place or something. But I realized that there was like a backstory to some of it, because he was doing that to basically, on another weekend he would tell his wife he's doing the same thing, but he was actually like going to hang out or going to go smoke weed with some friends, or going to do something else that didn't involve me, because I didn't partake in any of that. So but ended up finding out later that there was somebody at work that hung out with him, and
Hmm.
that's what they were going to go do. So it was kind of, or he would go mess around or something like that. But you know I came to find out, like, my eyes got open after a while when I heard the story, how he was basically going to go do something else,
Hmm.
and not go hang out, or smoke weed, or go mess around or fuck around with another woman or something like that.
Hmm.
So I just distanced myself from him, because I wasn't, at that time, I wasn't part of that crowd. I wasn't a weed smoker. I wasn't looking to go do that kind of stuff. So it didn't pertain me, so I just stayed away. But other than that, I mean, I believe all the people that needed to leave my life has left my life, and
Hmm.
you know back in the day, you have the black book full of people, and you would just dial them up on certain days and things like
Oh.
that. So you said oop.
Ooh,
but
no.
but I mean, you're always gonna have that friend. There's always gonna be the friend that's there for a certain reason, and you have that one friend that leans on you for advice. You have that
Mm.
one friend that leans on you for money. You have the one friend that just looks for companionship. Sometimes they're not really looking to get money from you or anything like that. They just
Mhm.
like someone to be around. Like, they're lonely at home, so they just like someone to be around, which I'm cool with that. But you can only give that person so much of your time before you have to go to your real life, and
Mhm.
like you said, there's, when things start to fall apart, are they falling into place for something else? Like, is God
Mhm.
setting you up for the
Right.
next chapter? I know if I would have kept hanging around with that dude, eventually, you know, I would have started smoking weed at that
Mhm.
time. And I had a job, I know he had a job too, because he worked with me, but some people don't care, and I was gonna get back into the field, and the difference between when I was working inside the office and working in the field is, in the field you're tested more often, and if something happens, at that time I was just a technician, I wasn't a supervisor. So any if I back then, if you twisted your ankle, you got stung by a bee, anything would prompt, a drug test. Now
Mm.
it's a little bit different, but I knew that God was moving people out of the way, moving that mountain out of the way, so I can see clear and move through. Because I can tell you now, you know, on a handful, how many people I would really hang around with, and I like what Joe Osteen said. If you want to flock with with people, you want to flock with people who's going to move you forward.
Mm.
Like they say, birds of a feather fly together.
Yeah.
So you want to be. If I want to become a manager, I'm going to hang around with people that
Mm-hmm.
are managers. If I want to become a drug dealer, I'm going to hang
Right.
around with drug dealers.
Yes.
It's just, and if I want to, if I'm an alcoholic or if I like to drink a lot, I'm going to hang with people that drink a lot, because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to drink, they're going to have free beer, they're going to buy beer, or you're going to buy beer, and it's just going to go on. So, I mean, it's true. You got to flock to where, like, your next position, just like if you're looking for a job right now,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go shadow somebody, you're gonna go see somebody, you're gonna talk to somebody, you're gonna do it, some people around that department and people in that department, so you can kind of learn what you're gonna do and who you're working with. Because if I'm trying to sell, you know let's say if I'm trying to sell purses, I'm gonna hang around with somebody that sells purses, or somebody, who's into manufacturing purses. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna go to a flea market for someone who sells purses, because they're just buying it from a third party. So you want to go to, like, the main source. So I mean, I guess that's a dumb analogy, but
No,
I
it's
mean,
it's
but you
good.
you want to be where you're trying to get to, basically.
Yes. And that's the thing. This is the thing also I've learned. I was listening because sometimes you have to get out of your own little mental space and,
Hmm.
and start listening and going to different avenues and learning different things. And this is the one saying I definitely have to say it. J. Cole said it the best. It rains the hardest. It rains the hardest on people that what is it? It rains the hardest on people who deserves the sun. Man, that is so true. Sometimes listening to rap songs, they have profound messages. You just have to catch it between the booty shaking and the club and the drugs. You gotta catch the meeting. I'm like, okay, I don't know, am I supposed to drop it low or what I'm supposed to do? But yeah, sometimes you have to sometimes you have to listen to the message, and some messages in there when you hear the song thoroughly, throughout its entirely, you hear some good messages. And that was like, damn, that was deep, because you can go through so much. And this is the thing what people don't understand, like God is, he gives his biggest challenges to his strongest soldiers. We don't realize that. I'm like, God, I'm not strong. On these little advertisement or these little memes they make on TikTok, and the guys are calling God and saying, "Hey, I'm not strong. Take me out of this war." It's a little joke, but
Yeah.
that's you learning that God gives his, strongest soldiers the toughest test, and it's hard to withstand it because you don't know. Sometimes it'll come a little and a little here and a little here. But then when you have that Job season, like you wake up and you take a deep breath, boom, something hit, boom, something. The children, your child acting up, he going to jail. You got your husband or your wife, they tripping. You got people on your job tripping. You got everything is just personally attacking you, your health, everything. That's when God's getting you ready and say, hey, I know what I have in store for you. I'm allowing this to happen to you because I know you got more in you. You got more that of me that I want to see to come out of this. And that's like the Job season. Because I tell everybody, they my beautician said it 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week. and she had another girl sitting in a chair, and the girl didn't know anything about my life. You learn when you at a nail shop or whatever. And she said, the
We call
girl,
that shop talk.
yes, but at least it's not booty shaking, but not anymore. So she said, man, I couldn't deal with it. These, parents going through all this, and I don't have any kids. I couldn't take it, and da da da. I don't see how. I said, you know what? That's the point right there. Not trying to knock you. You don't see how. That because you haven't experienced it, and you're still young. But just so when you get to that point and you give birth to a child or have a child, you gonna go through everything under the sun that you won't imagine. If you don't go through it, it's a blessing.
Mm.
But you gonna go through everything under the sun. And so people ask me, how do you manage? How do you, make it through a day? You got one, locked up, one is dead. And how do you, and it's hard. There'll be days I'll be in the bed and I'll just like, I want to hear that voice. You want to hear, who do you want to hear? Because those two, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk. We're going to debate. We're going to do whatever. But one of them I can't hear every day. I can hear every so often for 15 minutes. Another one I can't hear ever again unless I put on a Facebook post that he had to just hear his voice so I don't forget what he sounds like. And it's hard because on Monday, I went through his stuff again and found one of his shirts. And I needed that hug. That's a hug for me. His shirt covering me, that's him hugging me because he was that hugger or kisser. And it was like, dang God, why did I have to go through all this in 2.5 years? I mean, you did not give me a break. It rained constantly and I didn't breathe. But what he wanted me to see is, Kim, the whole time it was raining, I was carrying you. You were strong. You was able to get up. Yes, you struggled, but you didn't give up. You gave out, but you didn't give up. And that's the key. You gonna give out because it's a race that you can't, after any race of anybody running hard as they can, what they doing?
Asking for air.
Yes. So that every day I have to get up and put my big girl shoes on and be like, you know what, God, I know you got me. I know this only a test to make me stronger. I know to explain to another parent that it don't get easy. I'm not gonna say it ever goes away, but you'll be able to cope and grow through it. And it's a hard thing. So I had a loss of relationship, lost my mind, I lost the son, had another son to have a heart surgery again, had another son to go to jail. And I'm like, okay, God. And then I'm sitting here just in a whirlwind, just like Dorothy and Toto, me and my little Frenchie, just, swimming around in this tornado. And I'm sitting here, instead of me complaining to God, now I got to the point, thank you, God. I'm still here. Even though it don't look good. And Marvin Sapp said it the best. Everybody that say something negative, I don't know how, oh, this happened. I had one person said, my son was dead because of me. Because I was mean to people. So that's the reason he died. Because I was getting, what is they call it? Karma. And I never was mean because I was mean to that person. I was mean to you. And why was I mean to you? It wasn't really mean because it was like me stepping away from you and shutting up. But God doesn't do any of that. So when they sit there and say that, oh, I don't know how you do this, da da da. No, I like how Marvin Sapp said, God got this table. This is my table. He's sitting there and preparing it for me. Everybody that got something negative say, oh, look at her attitude. Oh, she crying all the time. Oh my gosh, she this. Every negative thing you see, God just preparing that table. So in the what do you say? I'm preparing the table in the presence of your enemies. So all I'm gonna do is now is sit back and be like, yeah, God, you got it. I'm not gonna complain because it's only for my good. It may not feel good.
Let God. How's it go?
Let go and let God.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, hands up. Okay. I mean, today I even got angry about another family member because they was doing something that cost me money. And then I had to breathe and say, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to let this go because That's what they want to do. And that's how Satan builds up walls. So you won't have everything that causes you an issue, you build up a wall. Every trauma you go through, you build up a wall. I can't trust people. I don't trust them. I don't trust this. Oh, you're gonna do me this way. You're gonna, and those are the walls that I build up. God said, no, I didn't allow these things to happen for you to build up walls. I allowed them to build, these tests to happen so you can have a testimony to tell other single mothers who went through it, mothers who lost their kids to gun violence, mothers who have sons and daughters in prison, kid women that's out here right now with no family member. And
Mhm.
we're gonna have to bring this one. This is my adopted daughter on the podcast. I took this girl in, she was 16 years old on the street, 15, 16. And all she knew was being trafficking for prostitution. And she ended up making 18. I pulled her out of it, tried to show her a better life. She ran back, but I still was there anytime she needed to talk or call me, right? She's 18 years old. She got caught in a car with somebody that didn't take that charge and said it was hers and with drug trafficking. And she's an illegal immigrant from Morocco.
Mm.
They gave her a 10-year sentence. I said, her family disowned her, right? So she didn't have nobody. I was the only person. She started calling me mom. I went to see her every time I can. So then when they gave her parole, they brought her back to ICE. I was sitting at Comcast working in dispatch, and I got the phone call. Mom, they got me in ICE. They trying to deport me. If I tell you, if I prayed that hard for somebody else that wasn't my child, wasn't blood related, I know I can pray for myself just as hard, but go back that she always thanked me for something that I'm like, that's what God wanted me to do. But I lost myself when it came to my own kids. I was just crying and everything. But going back to her story, she was in ICE. They was finna deport her. Her mom and grandmother wouldn't give me no paperwork on her, anything. They said we don't have nothing to do with her. She's saying she Baptist and she really Muslim and she got tattoos. She's no longer our family member. So she was in there 2 months. I went every day to see her. So by the time the trial came, I wrote letters. I went to see immigration lawyer. And one lawyer, I really want to throw this table in his face right now, but God ain't gonna do it. He told me, oh no, she had a drug case. Oh, I can take your money, but she gonna get deported anyway. Gave me his card,
Mhm.
told me go ahead and call. She need representation anyway, but they're gonna deport her anyway. So they're gonna just take her back to Morocco and drop her off and leave her there and whatever. But yeah, that's what she being an illegal immigrant. I'm gonna charge you 4,000. I took his card that he gave me, walked out the door and flicked it. It was like, forget you. I wrote a letter to the judge and said, look, this girl, I love her like she's mine. Like I gave birth to her. I know she can do better. I know she'll be better. She just need to be led in that way. I've been trying to do it, and it's an unfortunate, incident that she was in the car with somebody. I said I take full responsibility for her if she come home. She living with me if she comes. And I said, I pray that you have it in your heart to give her a chance in our country to see how she can, all the heartbreaks she had, all the trauma she had, give her a chance here. And, she was going to go back to Morocco. They're going to kill her anyway because she didn't wear the veil or whatever. If I tell you, I went to court, sat there, and the lady came out and said, oh, you can go ahead and go. The court is over. I said, wait a minute. They told me to be here for 1:00. I took off work again to come, and I'm trying to see the judge. I'm trying to be in court. So she said, I'm not supposed to tell you. She walked me to the door. She said, for your letter, the judge read your letter in the court, and he decided to let her stay in the country. I walked out the door, was crying, started raining. I seen them walking her back, and I screamed at her, babe, they keep me. She's like, yes, mama. That's what God does. God wants us to lean on him. And when we leaning on people, which is my problem, leaning on people thinking they gonna have me, we are sadly disappointed. And this girl today is 31 years old, married to a man that loves her, have a house, have a job, She went from prostitution to being a married woman with a
Mm.
with just and in church. And it's just like she was like, I can't do nothing but thank you. I was like, nah, thank God. That's it. But when it came to my own self, I was so caught up. Like, how this gonna happen to me, God? I'm praying on you. Yeah, I'm praying to you. I'm going to church. I pay my tithes. How you gonna allow this to happen to me? He was like, I'm not done with you yet. And that's what I had to figure out these last couple of weeks. I may go through it. I just have to breathe and push through it. It's like going through labor pains. What you do? You can't stop when the baby coming, right? You done been there
Mm.
before, seen it. You can't stop. You gonna have to just and take
I
that.
come no matter what.
Yeah, you got to push through it. You got to push through the pain, and it does hurt. And you want to be angry, and I ain't gonna never say not be angry because I'll be angry, maybe cussing or whatever. But I know who to go back to, and I know the source. So yeah, it's just we're gonna be tested, and that's God's way of saying I'm gonna get a testimony out of this test that you're going through.
Yeah, so I was listening, and I was gonna say, and we've said this before, God is gonna test you and put you through things that He knows you're able to get through. But the other side of that, what makes you mad, that's actually the devil,
Mm-hmm.
working against you. The more, and this is 100% true, and I've heard it many times. The more faith you have,
Mm-hmm.
the more the devil works on you, because he knows that the ones that are easier to break are the ones that are in the faith more
Mm-hmm.
than people of normal world, because the faithful Christians, faithful Baptists, faithful Catholic people, they're easily broken just because they feel like, most, let's put it this way, most feel like they shouldn't go through certain things because they have God behind them. But
Correct.
that's just trials and tribulations that God puts in the way to help you, make you stronger, help you push through, but
Mm-hmm.
then it's also the devil as well doing it, his, you know, the death of the child, things that happen to good people, like you said. Some people, like J. Cole said, it rains on people that need the sun, which that's true. You can find all these, stories within stories, within rap music, within any music.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be a trial to make you, stronger, so you can push through. And then you come out through your tribulation, you come out through the fork in the road, and you're on the other side. Like, let's say, you have all these problems and you put it on the table, and guess what? God is gonna, help you and guide you, and give you. He's gonna take you to the water. He's not gonna show you how to drink it, but
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna make sure that you endure, to push through, and then, make it to the other side of the pond or something like that, or the other side of the river. So like that, that's your, at that point, you feel like you've, lost all the, the hatred, the dislike, the issues, the problems, the stress. Once you get to the other side, in your heart, hey, I feel a certain way. I've lost all these people for a certain reason, because they wasn't helping me. God is the only one that can help you. I mean, yes, you can get a counselor. Yes, you can get people in your life that's going to help you push and get you to the other side. But if you don't do it yourself, if you don't, you know, get through it like you're supposed to, on your own, you're never gonna learn. You're basically gonna continue to fall short, in life, and not reach that goal that you're trying to. Which, the ultimate goal is, to make it to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Make it, to your significant others, your siblings, all the people that's already in heaven and things like that. So
Yeah, and I started to see it in people associates that I had. We never like was like friends, but we was talk whatever, and on occasion. So, Toya being her story. This other lady, I met her at church. And she told me how strong I was because I went through the stuff, and she felt like I came out, not smelling like smoke, but I send myself right back in the pit. But I'm so proud of her. She, her husband left and they separated, and she got her business going. I mean, sometimes God had to remove people to get us to do what He wants us to do, because we would never do it if we were around them people or we with those people. And I ain't gonna say hate, that's a strong word. I dislike a lot of people. I don't want to talk about you. You tell too much of your business. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed because God put me through it. So somebody else probably be going through the same thing. And I'm over here, I'm old Christian and Dell, and I'm giving myself to God and nothing ever happened. No. Bull crap happened. I stumbled and fell. I done went back to a particular dude. I done probably cussed out quite a few people because I done build up walls and act like a little crazy maniac or whatever. But because holding it in doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't definitely benefit you. All it does is make you angry. So when I tell my story, like yesterday at the nail shop, I told a lady, and she going through it. Yeah, I've been there. I understand. But when you don't get angry anymore, that person gonna remove from you, and you ain't gonna even feel it because you don't feel the anger. You don't give them that energy. Now, when
Yep.
you stop giving them that energy, that it smooths away. It's like a calming of the sea. And to me, and like I told her, I'm not telling nobody to leave their man. But if you doing that, and then you talking to me about it, it's causing you some stress, baby.
Yeah. If you have to talk about it or it's causing you some type of issues, you probably need to leave it alone. Just like we said, in the previous couple of podcasts, need to make sure that you drop whatever's causing you that issue. What did your daughter say?
Induce stress. Induce
Induced stress.
stress.
So, you don't look to a relationship for someone to cause you problems. You look for someone to your other half, like they say, the better half. If you have an issue doing something, that person should be the one that helps with that issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
and
know,
yeah, because I like
I,
how.
I,
Go ahead.
no, I'm
Oh my
kidding.
God, I can't stand you. But I've been on this, like, a couple of weeks back, how I was feeling like I want somebody there for me because I'm always there for that person. But
Mhm.
those are not the people for me. God said, let it go. And right around the corner, I have some for you. Just, you got to let it go.
When you look for something,
Mm-hmm.
you may not find what you're looking for. You
Mm-hmm.
may find the opposite of what you would really want. And it's because you're trying to fill that gap that you have, and it's gonna be something that you really don't want. It's like you've seen like these movies, and I guess I'm getting too old because I'm doing a lot of analogies. If you seen like these movies, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for their spirit, or they're looking for like a lost spirit or something, and they do the freaking Ouija board or whatever, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think I just seen a movie like that. And typically what happens is you don't find that person you're looking for. You find like another, ghost, or another person that's going to haunt you, which is basically like in real life. Because if you're looking for something, God is going to put that person in your life. Like God put Janelle in my life, and we move forward. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
looking for somebody, same as you, same as, everyone. If you go looking for things, you're gonna find something. Just like when you go looking through your man's phone, you're gonna find something,
Mm-hmm.
or your woman, whatever, starts looking through stuff, or you start looking through stuff, you're gonna find something. And you might take something out of context, and it just becomes, something out of left field, and it's gonna just make the situation worse, because you don't want to get back into an old relationship, because what was there.
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to change. And then you don't want to find something new from someone who's broken,
Mm-hmm.
because now you got that wounded duck, that broken duck, that's coming back into your life. Maybe it's not the same person, but it's something similar. They're going to have similar issues that's going to tend to affect your life, and you're not going to be able to move forward like you're supposed to.
And people don't understand your past builds patterns. So what you used to in the past, and this is, oh, I'm used to tall, dark, and handsome, or, oh, I like my guy to be cut, or I like the mustache, I like this. What's your history? What you used to in your history builds patterns in your past. Did you marry that person? Are y'all living a long happy? No, you're not. So you're looking for superficial things in a person instead of looking for the real thing. And then a lot of time people give up. You be with a person for a certain period of time. Oh, this is not working. I got people now that I listen to that. Oh, my relationship. Oh, blah 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 blah. Relationships are like seasons. God damn it. Winter come, but it don't stay. That's just like problems come in a relationship. You bundle up, you prepare for it, and go through it. I so want to say that to people. Damn it. You got somebody that comes home every day, bringing their check home. Yeah, they be stressed. They, don't want to hear what you're talking about. At that time, that may be that person's moment to digress, or whatever they need to do. They missing somebody. They going through their own mental struggles, but you always me, 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 me. That person has their season too. So like the 4 seasons we have to, expect it. Like my pastor said, prepared for it and deal with it. You have to go through it. Summer, we know, hey, we ain't wearing no winter coat. In Texas weather, definitely not in the middle of summer. You have to prepare for each thing because your relationship gonna go through this. And it's just to teach you to be a better spouse so you can teach somebody else. You don't know. Like the War Room. That movie is, to me, that's a classic because it's teaching, you're fighting the person instead of fighting the devil with God's word. You gotta fight that. So I don't know. It's just me going through it, and I have my slip ups. I might fight everybody tomorrow. I might cuss out everybody tomorrow. On Monday, I may come back and be okay. But I know that's me and I'm still working with me, but I don't want nobody to judge me based on what I'm going through now. Because I'm still working. It's like churning the butter. When they churning it, God has to get me right. It's still a lot of lumps in there. It's still a lot of, it's not perfect like that. What's the little thing used to talk? Peak parquet? But remember the butter used to talk when we was a kid? You remember? Oh my God. The butter used to talk in the commercials. But anyway, I feel like I'm that butter that I'm supposed to be, all sweet and nice and, smooth. But God still got a lot because you have to understand my past to understand my present, to understand where I'm going in my future. I have to understand my future. I got to get out of my past, deal with my present, to get into my future. So when you say I did something, that's my past still dealing with me. So you're judging me based on that. Understand that, yeah, I've been through a lot. Sometimes I may withhold stuff and it'll build up and then just tears that's come flowing out because I don't know how to express it. I don't know what to do. It comes out the wrong way. That's why I'm back in therapy. I know I needed it. But don't judge me based on God churning me. He's getting me right. He's getting me, okay, I got to get rid of this past. I got to get past this past. I got to deal with what's going on in the present. But I also have to push toward the future because everything from the past and present that I don't have to leave behind. Yeah, I may cussed you out yesterday. That at that time, it was the present. It's my past. I'm moving to the future. I know, okay, well, when I get angry, I need to walk away from you. I need to just shut the hell up because I know that's a trigger for me. But people judge you and think that you're crazy. Now, there are some crazy people. Don't get me wrong, there are, but I know I'm a work in progress, and me working is getting out all the pads. I've been dragging these rocks. That's why my back is so bad. I've been dragging these bricks around with me for years, dragging them, dragging them, dragging them. It's time to let them go and be done. Because my son, the one that died, he said, and I have to live up to this because he told me this. He said, "Mom," it was a week before he died. He said, "Mom, you only got 2 kids left that you are responsible for. You're not responsible for anybody else, not even us grown ones." He said, "Fuck everybody else. Worry about them and worry about you." I ain't saying be selfish, but I got to fill my cup. I got to make sure I have a half a cup. I don't want to be 1/3. I at least want to be a half. Because if I'm not good enough for myself. I'm not good enough for anybody else. Definitely not good enough for my kids. Because I'm giving it out. I'm giving it and I'm giving it away. So if you judge me by fixing me, two up. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Because that's what people do. They judge you. And then most people judge you as people that done changed their life, like they never went through anything, and they so holy and thou. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I can't say that I'm holy and thou because I still mess up. Nobody's perfect, but I'm not gonna judge the next person because she's out there prostituting. I may never prostitute, but if I was out there giving it up to me, and it was the same thing, right? I'm just not on the street of this and that. But somebody paying the bill, yeah, I'm prostitution. Yeah, I'm doing some kind of prostitution, or you out there with everybody trying to get a light bill paid. I don't know, but I'm not.
The only one that should be judging should be God.
That is it. That is it. A lot of
Because
people judge each other.
no one else should be judging because they live in a glass house. They probably went through something. Now they're holy, supposedly. You can't just because you went through it. Let's say such and such was a prostitute. They're past that. They made it through. They found God. But you can't judge the next person because you went through the same thing. What if you someone judged you while you were going through your season during that time? So
Yeah,
I always say it's you shouldn't judge anybody. Even though I'm an asshole, I know that. I'm a jokester, so I do go through my things, but then I realize I shouldn't because the only person should be judging anybody should be God because he's the only one that is 100% holy, 100% sin free because he died for us. So
yeah. I mean,
Jesus died for us.
yeah.
Sorry.
And that's the thing. I'm not gonna judge anybody that drink. Some people got to get it together, and right now they using it to cope with whatever they going through. It's just fortunately for me, I didn't go to drinking or drugs. You know what I'm saying? I went to seclusion. That's what I went to, and that's just as bad as drugs or drinking.
Well, I would beg to differ on that. Just
Really?
because, yes, really, because the drinking is a choice. Yes, you may go through like a certain time that you feel a certain way and you want to drink, but the mentality of your mind should be like, okay, I'm getting past this. Okay, I'll drink something, and this will get me over. Alcoholics or people that abuse these kind of things, they treat it as it never goes away. You're supposed to move on from it. So if you keep and you stay in this mentality of, oh, such and such did this, such and such did that, my wife left me, my son died, my daughter dislikes me or something like that. If you stay with that, you're gonna stay like that and you're gonna continue. It's never gonna go away. You got to find a way. Either you're gonna find God or you're gonna find a counselor to get you past that. So I mean, I don't want to say that drinking is a vice to get through something, or drugs, but yes, most people have to find something to move forward. Even loneliness is an issue, and you got to find that right person that that right family member or that counselor, or find God and get past it, because you don't want to stay there, lonely forever. You don't want to stay drinking forever. You don't want to stay, abusing, substances forever.
Yeah, and see, the thing of it is, with I'm starting to learn, most people, I'm gonna just say most people with drinking alcohol or doing drugs, they want to change. It's most, not all now, not all, uh, because you got the ones who you take their anger out and abuse people with it, and you
Hmm.
got the ones who just self-medicate and they just seclude to themselves because they trying to work it out. But what avenue do I take? This is like very hurtful. It's taking me down. So they have to actually get into the self-motivation to let me go get this help. I know I need it. But the self-medication is like, I'm a deal with myself. I'm a seclude to myself. But when other alcoholics, they abuse everybody else around them, or one particular person get abused because I think, to me, those abusers that use alcohol or drugs and then go out, I turn beat
Hmm.
Tina,
Yeah.
and with alcohol they be abused too, but I think that they're the devil and they see God. God got something in you and they want to break you so much because they are broken. They're using, this is why I did it. Oh, I don't remember what I did. I was drunk or I was
Hmm.
high. And I can honestly say my first husband, he was, he started off, he's older, way older than me. At 18, he was selling drugs. He was a part of the Crips in Tookie Williams in California. That's where he ran off to when he graduated high school, and he was a part of all that crowd. Then end up what most drug dealers in the 70s did.
Hmm.
They started taking their own supply, right?
No.
So he became a drug head. Hang on, he did drugs. So when he got with me, when he would get mad and he'd be coming off the drugs, I would get abused because I was there. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I hate him? No. Because I had to forgive, and we are cool. We're the best of friends right now. You know what I'm saying? He's married again. He's clean. He's the deacon of the church, and he always apologized. And I'm like, that's, you have to go to grips with God. I forgive. At first, I couldn't. I didn't want. I talked so bad about him because I was that young girl looking for, somebody to uplift me. I had a car, I had a house, I had money or whatever. But I don't have that hatred. I can't keep that hatred long. And that's sometimes I say about me, I hate it because I can't keep it long. I can stay away from you, not ever talk to you, but I can't be mad because it's like, God, I know you give me grace. The stuff I done to people that I know I didn't deserve forgiveness, but God, they may not have forgave me, but you did. So I don't try to stay mad, but what I do is end up letting people back in, and well, just one person, but the wrong way, and because I feel bad that they going through a sickness or something like that, not letting them back in with me, but feeling bad for them because they going through something, and I can't do that because they putting themselves through that. Um, it's just that, with people, I thank God. I thank Him so much. I don't have that addictive spirit. And I also thank my dad. He never smoked a cigarette, never drank, nothing. He doesn't do anything. And I think that I got that from him, not an addictive spirit. Now, I've drank, every once in a while, but I don't have to have it. So I just secluded myself, became lonely, got away from people. And that is the biggest drug ever, because when you come out of seclusion, you don't know how to deal with people. Then you start clinging to the wrong people, like that's your teddy bear or whatever, because you don't know what to do. So that's a big issue, but people don't understand that. But when you mix, drugs or alcohol with loneliness, so you mixing this, it's even worse for that person. You don't know what that person go through when they walk in their house every night, or they in the car by themselves. Because I know it was many days that just from loneliness, I was like, God, just end it all. I can't take this. Just whatever you do, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm waiting on you to do it. It was just that I was, because it was so much. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I got two beautiful kids still left that's under the age of 18. I love them to death. They doing great things. Now my son give me hell because he's going through, he don't know if he want to do the Nelly, where the band-aid under the eye, cut the eyebrow. I don't know what the hell I'm going through right now, but I want to choke his ass out. I love him, but they're not disrespectful kids. They're not bad kids. And I'm so appreciative, and I can say that's me. I instilled it. My daughter in the orchestra, I put that in there. So I have so much more life to give and things to give to them. And God just let me go through it. I just have to sit back, because the devil will be like, if God was there for you, why are you going through this? Why are
Mhm.
you going through that? Now, if the people went to the Red Sea, Moses them, and he parted the Red Sea, my stuff you can definitely do. If Job went all through what he went through and you blessed him 100 times over, man, I got it. It don't feel good, but it will be good in the end. I just have to keep telling myself.
This too shall pass.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we've come to the conclusion. Thank you, Kim, for talking so much today.
Really? Did I talk a
Uh, I'm
lot today?
kidding. I'm kidding. All right. So be sure to check out our socials. Leave us a comment. Also, be sure to check out our podcast on YouTube if you want to see the actual video, see how crazy Kim is. And it's on YouTube. You can find us on Even Me Podcast. Check us out. If not, just check our normal on Apple. What is it? Apple,
Spotify.
Google, Spotify. We're
Yes.
pretty much on all of them. So check us out, leave us a comment, and we're out.